car guy, you know, sort of, yeah.
Oh, do you want to ride on the RX?
Yeah. Do you hear yourself, buddy?
Yeah, what's your favourite? FC sticker? Hello.
Just when they did the pit walk at the grid walk at Taupo. Yeah, super cool. No. There was some came into the gate when I was coming in, they must didn't realise how much competition. Oh. But after they opened the girl in the box, waved. Oh. Yeah, there was a couple of guys and that must have been the squad. Yeah. And they got them surprised. I don't know, I didn't take any notice. I just sort of thought, well, I want to come. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not coming tomorrow because I'm busy. I'm going to.
Well, I know Caleb was on that motorbike, so
I came yesterday and then I
get into some very
got my nephew and sort of had a yak there and then said, oh, he said, you coming tomorrow? You coming the rest of the weekend? I said, no, it's Saturday. I won't come tomorrow.
that's the thing, man.
I've got granddaughter's
We'll ask that lady when we
birthday is the 29th. Oh, yeah.
Or I'll ask Mum Dad or I'll ask Mike.
Yeah, yeah. Leap year girl, eh? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I might take this.
Yeah. Geez, they grow up quick, don't they? Oh, that's for sure.
Do you want to stick a load? Do you want me to stick it?
Yeah, can give me 12 trim. She's got married. Yeah.
I don't want too much to eat. I don't take the shake. Can you take the flex? For some reason I think it's too much. I gotta remove it.
The GT New Zealand Championship is proud of its partnership with Summerset, which has been going for a number of years now. And you guys have made sure that you leverage that by giving people a real-world chance to sample the cars too, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. We're really happy to be here today with 3 of our residents from some of our villages in the Wellington region, and all about to jump in with a driver and do some hot laps around the circuit. It's awesome.
Are they motor racing fans? Is this a new experience for them? What's it like?
So 2 of our ladies are motor racing fans. One describes herself and her daughters as a petrol head, so they're very excited. And our gentleman here today is an ex-auto mechanic, so knows all about cars and is super excited.
Why do you reckon this stuff is so important?
Oh, look, it's a wonderful experience, I think, for these guys. I mean, if you think about it, we've always said, look, when you get older, it doesn't mean you can't have fun. So for these guys, from an experience thing, it's epic. You know, like I said to these guys, mate, this is like your bucket list thing, a thing to tick off in life. And you might have waited a little bit longer, but hey, it's been well worth it.
Cool. Real cool.
Did you enjoy that?
I loved it.
What did you love about it?
Fast, stop, go, everything. Yoo-hoo.
We got up to 211k.
Did that exceed your expectations?
More than. It was just amazing. He told me we got up to 211. I've never been that fast in my life. Oh.
Were you watching him? Were you watching the track?
I was watching the track, but looking at him every now and then, yes.
Where, Good, thumbs up. Where does that rate for you in terms of some life experiences, eh?
It's a bucket list thing, and I've tacked it big time now.
Whether it's our partners or fans, we are big on the experiential side when it comes to this championship. And fittingly ahead of the Summerset GT New Zealand round, we've got the grid walk happening, race one of the weekend for them, joined by the CEO of the Repco NextGen NZ Championship in Josie Spillane. And you've got a little bit of news, don't you?
Yeah, we do, Rusty. I'm really excited to share some work that's been happening in the background over the series this season, that we have been able to acquire the series from Grant Smith. So the Quinn Group, the team and I, with Tony, are the proud new owners of the Summerset GT NZ Championship. So it's an exciting time for next season.
Great stuff. A lot of energy around. I mean, it just reflects the work that Grant and the team have done with this series too, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, the last 4 years, Grant and his team have really dug in and created such a fantastic base for us to, step in and take over as the next Guardians. But GT4 racing, particular around the world, is experiencing such a boom, and it's New Zealand's time to have our own purple patch. So we're really excited about it. It's important that we pay tribute to Grant. From what I can figure, talking to the different organisers around the traps here in New Zealand, no one can remember the last time that a category was actually sold in New Zealand motorsport. So hats off to Grant. He's done a fantastic job, built a great base, and we really look forward to taking it into the next step into future for motorsport in New Zealand.
Well done, well said, and I know you'll be proud custodians of it. I'm going to break from the boss because I want to go and interview a few people. Thank you for doing that. Regan Schooler from P1, nice to chat with you. It's been a little bit of a learning curve, this machine, but pole position reflects where it's going. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we got a good qualifying. It was pretty smooth, aside from the sort of interruption when we were putting on a second set, but try to take it home today for the win.
All right, we hope that goes well for you. Congrats on the pole.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, let's quickly dive over here. We've got a couple of stories that are unfolding. I want to grab one Nigel Cromie if I can, because he was a late arrival to the track here, but with good reason. You are at least driving. Can you tell us the backstory?
Yeah, my wife's actually due to have a baby any day now. But so I am here racing, but we're all good. It's hopefully we postpone that till next week, so we're all good.
Good on you. That's great that you're here and racing, and we're sending our best. Just quickly, have you got something for Regan Schooler off the line here, do you think?
Oh, I'll give it a go. Yeah, I've got to. So every point's important at the moment. So yeah, I'll try my best.
You are doing a cracking job in the step up two in this class. Thank you for talking with us. We're going to wander a little bit further down the grid, because what some of the drivers have alluded to here is an incident that, hello Alan Sargent, that happened in qualifying earlier today, just before we came on for the broadcast, and that affects Rick Armstrong. So an incredible job done by the team. You can see the pictures there now of just what that was like. He's getting suited up here at present. The car has been repaired unbelievably in a real race against time. That is hard to watch, that vision. Can you walk us through what happened and what went through your mind at that time?
Well, look, actually I was on a quali lap and I went into the braking zone deep and my foot slipped off the brake and straight onto the accelerator, and I was at 100 metres, and then I looked down and I was at the 50 metre and my foot was back on the brake, and I was just head straight to the scene of the accident. So it was essentially just a slip of my foot on the brake, and I've never done it before. It's never... but it certainly couldn't have happened at a worse place.
Yeah, I'm sure that really got your attention, mate. Well done. I mean, the work here isn't as perfect as we would normally expect with this great team, but you've been able to get it to the start line. They've done a cracking job, haven't they?
Done a great job, so it's my job to go and race it again. Okay. Yeah, they've done a really good job. So,
what was it? I mean, it was a bit more cosmetic than it looked ferocious externally, but it was a bit more cosmetic by the sounds of it.
A few parts boxes came out, and that was essentially it. The car's not bent at all, so it was the best possible accident I could have, and I'm in really good condition. I feel good, so. It was lucky, very lucky.
We're pleased to hear that. Whack the helmet on, go well today and hustle there. And let me tell you, that is exactly what this driver does. So watch from the rear of the grid for Rick Armstrong. Drivers are starting to make their way to their cars now to get strapped in ahead of the start here. We'll take you, I think, to commentary with Richard Crail to lead the way on the call for this one. Very exciting news if you've just joined us for the coverage there with Josie Spillane detailing new ownership for Summerset GT New Zealand for next summer. We've had a great summer with this category and still some exciting racing to come, Richard.
Yeah, you're right, Rusty. It is, and a lot of momentum in GT racing in this part of the world. We're coming off the Maguire's Bathurst 12-hour 2 weeks ago, which was globally renowned as a race. GT4 racing in Australia in particular is going crazy, and we saw that championship here in New Zealand at the opening round of Repco NextGen NZ. Andrew Waite is back up alongside me today. He's been on the microphone for a lot of the day, so good to have him back upstairs in the box. I just want to look back to what we saw with Rick Armstrong. So he starts from the back of the field in this. He is the championship leader by just 60 points. So there's a bit of pressure on. Let's go back and have a look at this. So you're the race car driver. Talk us through it.
Most important thing, look at that green box to the right-hand side. So if you watch, he's on the brake on the left, the red's up, and then as he hits a wall, watch the throttle increase. So that shows that as he slipped his foot over and then back again, he's sort of not had his foot in the right spot all the way into there. And you can just see the great rate of knots that he left the road there. So it was a certainly a big crash, but to get away with only cosmetic repairs to get that car back out there is very, very impressive by the International Motorsport team to get that car back up and running into the new bonnet. You can see the silver bumper on it. That's not all how it normally looks, but that does not matter at this point in time. He's a championship leader, so he just wants to get back out there and bank as many points as they can.
And International Motorsport had 6 of their crew members thrown at this car in the turnaround after qualifying. And courtesy of Nathan Pilcher, who's the motorsport coordinator for Porsche Motorsport New Zealand, I can tell you what was thrown at this car, Andrew Waite. So this was the sum total of the damage: both front radiators, the left-hand headlight, guard, the flare, which is that little strip that goes over the wheel arch, the bonnet supports and the front supports, the complete front bumper assembly. So you can see it there, and that comes pre-packaged with the front splitter on it as well, ready to go, painted, ready to bolt onto the car. Front end wiring on the car, a mirror, the inner guard liners, radiator ducts and mounts, and he hastens to add some panel beating was involved. Remarkably, the crash structure that sits underneath the front end of these cars, it's designed to absorb impacts like that, and it's also replaceable, but you've got to bond it onto the car. That wasn't damaged. Now, I've seen a lot of Cup cars crash over the journey, Andrew Waite, in my role commentating Porsche racing, and I've never seen a crash that big that hasn't damaged the front of the car. So when Rick Armstrong says he's lucky, I think he got away with one there.
He certainly did. That is a great outcome for him to be able to be back out for that race. As we both looked at each other after the qualifying this morning, Richard said, well, that's him done for today, but he will be back out there tomorrow. There was no doubting that he was definitely going to be back out tomorrow, but to be able to get that car turned around without any structural damage as such is lucky, but at the same time, he's leading the championship for a reason. That's not luck. He's been super, super impressive this year.
Yeah, and it's moments like that that could be the difference between title win and not. So first pole position of the season for Regan Scholar. Out of first, Nigel Cromie on the outside of the front row. That's his best qualifying position of the season. Sam Fillmore next. So Alan Sargent will drive the 107. They're the GT4 car. Behind him is his teammate Glenn Chappell to Racelab Supras. They're GT4 cars. They're racing Grant Aitken and James Sachs in the Mercedes AMG. And happy birthday to James. It's his birthday today. He kept it very, very quiet. Absolutely wanted no one to know. And now we've talked about it on national television. So happy birthday to James. And in the midst of that is Rick Armstrong. So Rick's first job is to clear the GT4 cars, which he will do. He's got the pace to do. The challenge there is, what has he got for Regan Scholar, for Nigel Cromie, and for Sam Fillmore? That will be the challenge. How far forward can he go in this one?
I think initially for this race, the important thing is to just get through today and then have a good look at the car overnight. They've had to turn around really quickly. So with the amount of cars in this race, you can just afford to just keep your title fight alive by just getting through this race, have a reset overnight, and work hard on it tomorrow.
Might not be the biggest field of the season, but there are plenty of storylines to unpick around Summerset GT New Zealand. Away we go, race 1 of 3 for the weekend. Round 4 of the championship. Even Stevens between the two Cup cars. as they go wheel to wheel into turn 1. The 999 on the inside. Can Cromie hang it around the outside? He will run out of road on the exit there, and thinks School is going to be good to get the race lead, and he does so. Down into Splash, turn 3. Armstrong has already cleared the GT4 car, so that's a tick in the box for the championship leader. He's got up behind his teammate, Sam Fillmore.
And William Exon as well leads the way in the GT4 fight. That's going to be an interesting one for us all weekend long with two very sharp young drivers. And today behind the wheel we do have Alan Sargent and Glenn Chappell. So they're driving the cars today, both doing fantastic jobs out there as well. I'm not going to say too much more about Alan at this stage. Last time I did, I gave him quite the commentator's curse. Yeah. So sorry, Alan. I'll leave it at that for today.
You jinxed him massively at Highlands, let's be honest. Absolutely cursed him terribly. You can find that on the social media for Repco NextGen NZ. So the Cup cars clear away out in front. Say good day to Joel Giddy, who's probably frustrated watching on at home. Cromie just having a look down the inside of Scholar at turn 1. No pass there. Talk about this for Rick Armstrong. We've already talked about this in categories today. Napa Central Muscle Car, so Angus Fogg rebuilt their car overnight. As good as IMS are, and they are very good, that is a car that's been completely rebuilt in the front end. It's had no testing laps. They put a setup on it. Is this a case of Rick just going out there and finding his feet?
Yeah, 100%. Today's race is just full focus on getting through it, and at the same time as we say that, he's already on the back of this battle. So he's a racer at heart. He's a competitive guy, so he will still take it to the guys up front, I'm sure. But I just think there's just no need for risk today in this race. He's already up into 4th place there. Just needs to hold on to what he's doing between the 4 Porsches that are in the open class. He's once again ahead towards the last corner where we saw Rick Armstrong go straight ahead into the wall on the right-hand side there, but he's already starting to put a fair bit of pressure on the back of Sam Fillmore. Sam Fillmore will be having to use his mirror a bit. As you can see, Sam there having to go a bit defensive, and Rick Armstrong fires it up the inside. Not quite enough, shows his nose.
Already confident in the Armstrong's number 2 car, the defending champion in both Summerset GT New Zealand's open class and the Porsche Endurance Trophy, which is a race within a race in GT New Zealand. The winner of that gets a trip over to Germany to the Porsche Night of Champions and gets recognised as an international Porsche champion, which is very cool. Lots of Porsche support in this part of the world, and Armstrong again with a really good run out of the hairpin down towards Higgins. This long corner banked, and it opens up on the exit. It's a bit of a roller coaster ride, feeds you out toward that outside wall, and then this long run down the back straight into the final corner that caught Armstrong out earlier today. A lot happens in 3Ks and just 7 corners here at Manfeild. You feel like you're almost always in a corner.
Yeah, it's a tricky track, this one. It's all about your braking, getting your braking as good as you can, having the confidence on the brake. As Sam Fillmore once again goes defensive down into turn 1. A good opportunity is actually around the outside of turn 1, then you have the inside line for turn 2. It's very easy said, but we're back to the GT4s. This battle is going to be a good one to watch throughout this race. Alan Sargent leads the way in the GT4s at the moment. Glenn Chappell sitting in behind him. These guys are all reasonably close together at the moment. They'll be in the car for the entire race for this one, but look at them, they're all evenly spread out at the moment.
Yeah, and in behind them is Grant Aitken in the Audi R8. So Grant raced that car down at Teratonga. He then jumped into his Porsche at Highlands for the next round of Summerset GT New Zealand, back in the V10 Audi. And I think he's got some of the traction control turned off a bit there, Andrew Waite, because the 6th drone cam caught that. A big bit of oversteer and some little licorice strips laid down there on the exit of turn 5.
And that's the thing with the traction control as well. It's always there to help you. It's really good, but sometimes you can just be a little bit too aggressive on it with a little bit too much lock. It can still throw some licorice straps down. So Grant Aitken there, he's trying super hard to hang on to the back of these guys, and he's doing a fantastic job. He's been around motorsport for a very, very long time, and very fast driver, accomplished a lot of things over his motorsport career. So it's great to see him here in that Audi, giving it to the 2 Super G4s out front.
2 little battle packs now at the front, so the leaders locked together, and Nigel Cromie set the quickest lap of the race last time by. and has got right up close to Scola, the race leader. And then Fillmore and Armstrong continue their battle, and they've just dropped 10 car lengths. Oh, James Sachs is off. The GT4 Mercedes AMG is well bunkered in the tyre bundles down at Toyota Corner at Turn 1. And we will go, speaking of Toyotas, to safety car conditions, and the GR Supra will slow the field down. Just as Nigel Cromie was firing up for a run at Regan Scola. So 106.6 last time by for the 33 car, and was hassling the rear bar of the 999. So that's a disappointment for the birthday boy. Was running 4th of the GT4 cars.
You can actually see some black marks into turn 1 as well. So I'm wondering, they look pretty fresh there. So I'm wondering if maybe some sort of issue for him into turn 1, because it's pretty deep into there. But yeah, he's still just, it doesn't look like he's gone into the wall too hard there. Looking at the wall and behind there, it hasn't moved much at all. So pretty confident that he's gone in pretty lightly there, but we'll keep an eye on that one as the GR Supra safety car picks up the Summerset GT New Zealand field.
Yeah, that's an odd one. That is a deep gravel trap too down there at turn 1. It's done the job. And so have the 3 rows of tyre bundles. You can see why there's such intense protection down there, because it is quite literally a public road just behind the outside here of turn 1. If you've never been to Manfeild, and I'm pleased to say this is my first visit, won't be the last. An absolutely fantastic place for motor racing. This circuit in a big parkland area where they run a massive country fair every year.
So the main thing is gone into the wall very lightly there. So I know James will be a-okay, but bit of a weird one, because it's well past the initial braking zone. It was later on in the braking phase, that second phase of the braking, where you started to actually come off the brake. Normally at that point is when the big lockup happens. So whether or not there's been some sort of ABS failure or something, but normally you see with an ABS failure, normally it's early in the braking, you just instant lock, but that happened a bit later on. So something a bit strange there, or maybe he was just a bit later on the brakes and he's gone super hard on the brake at that second phase. But main thing is just watching where it did end up was not too heavy into the wall, so that's probably why he's sitting in there. He said, come on guys, just get me going again, get me back out there.
Well, these Mercedes AMGs are the closest thing to a tank you'll get in the world of GT racing. They are tough. They are just nails, these things.
These are just just such a cool car. I've been lucky enough to drive a AMG Mercedes GT4, and I'll tell you what, they are such a fun car to drive. They and as you described, they're like a tank. The way that they react on a track, and they're so compliant. They're just a lot of fun. You get out there, you do 10 laps, and you're just feeling so comfortable, you're enjoying it so much, and then you get a radio call, come in now, and you're like, no, I'm just getting used to this. This is cool. Leave me out of here.
GT4 is such a cool category, and there's so many cool cars, and we hope that we see some of those coming to New Zealand in the future with the new era for Summerset GT New Zealand. Let's go down to pit lane. Here's Greg Rust.
Krause, Andrew, your line of vision will be better than mine. Just keep me honest here if they get that car out. But I gather from the team that look after James's car, just a lock brake as it went in there, and he's pretty confident they'll be able to continue, having said that on the radio.
Thanks, Rusty. Good opportunity to talk about the Kinloch estate. When he rocked up at the national round for Monochrome GT4 Australia, a lot of the Aussie competitors were extremely interested in the Kinloch estate and their ability to go and play 18 holes there at some point. So there was a lot of interest in that. They've got this car dragged out of the way. Members of our TV team quite keen for that as well. The 6th drone cam is all over it down there at turn 1. You can look back towards the final corner and the pit exit lane there as well. Hopefully James can get that car fired. And
see, he was waving out the window there, so he's obviously still wanting some sort of assistance there. These cars are pretty good at just firing up without a slave battery attached, so I'm wondering if just the time that he's been sitting in the gravel, that car did go flat and he's not able to start it, but I doubt it. There we go. He's underway now, which is great to see. It'll be absolutely full of gravel as he takes off. It's the worst sound when you're in the car. You hear this gravel fly up amongst the wheel guards, and you hit the brake, and you hear more gravel come out of it. He's doing exactly the right thing there, staying off the race line and getting some gravel out of that car, but I'm sure he'll be wanting to attach himself to the back of the line here and get back underway with it. So interestingly enough, though, that report from the team that was just a locked brake. So if you see the way he just sort of like nearly that initial brake wasn't hard enough, and he's gone for that second phase. It's just too much pressure. There wasn't enough load on the front, and it sailed straight ahead.
So hopefully not too far away from a resumption of play here in Summerset GT New Zealand. So 18 minutes on the clock, 28 minutes plus a lap this race. And this just gives Nigel Cromie an opportunity to think about where he might be able to make a move on Regan Scholar in that battle for the race lead.
So look at the initial brake. So you don't really see the car dive too hard in the front when he's first at the brakes there. Normally you see the front of the car dive super hard, but it didn't really do that, which it's one of the things that you're always working on with drivers that are not doing this professionally, is that initial brake pressure. It's so important to get that up. So wondering if that just wasn't up quite high enough, and then he's gone, oh, hang on, I'm late here. You don't have that load on the front. You've gone harder on that brake pedal, and it's just not reacted, and sometimes they can end up locking up in the front. So we're going to very quickly find out once he gets back underway whether or not there is a fault or not with the car. But it's not the first time I've seen something like that when it's not actually a fault of the car.
You took me around yesterday in the GR Supra safety car, and the first thing you said was, this is a braking track. So quite hard on brakes.
It's super hard on brakes. Really, really important to make sure you got that confidence on the brake, as we see the GR Supra safety car pull away. Regan Scholar now controls the field as they come around towards the last corner.
So the pressure goes back on to young Regan Scholar, who has an opportunity to win for the first time. Nigel Cromie is in behind. We're back under green flag conditions. Armstrong versus Fillmore for third and fourth place. Fillmore in the Alliance Services car just parks his car in the middle of the road, half covers that racing line down into turn one. Clean restart. Give them a couple of laps to get temperature and pressure back up in the Michelin tyres.
Cromie there, looking at a bit of understeer through turn two there.
Armstrong got a great run out of splash out of three. And he's all over the back of his sparring partner, Sam Fillmore. These two have got history in the championship. Cast your mind back to Topor. The opening round of the 2024-25 Repco NextGen NZ Championship. Final corner, final lap, carved each other up. Marco Giltrap came through to grab a race win.
Saw Christmas at that last corner as these two were off spinning off into the grass. It was one way to take a race win, but as you said, there is history between these guys. As Armstrong still looking racy, went to have a bit of a fake up the inside of the last corner. Oh, off that curb in the last corner there. You're still reasonably loaded on those outside tyres as you arrive at it, so the car's got a bit of attitude as it goes over that curve and back into turn one again.
We saw Rick at breakfast this morning, and he was on the phone, not talking, but was watching his son Marcus in the MTT IndyCar Series opening practice of the season at St. Petersburg in Florida. He finished 7th there in that opening session of the IndyCar Championship. Scott McLaughlin was quickest, which is a good story all around for the Kiwis. So proud dad watching his boy race IndyCars, back for another year with Bioshack Racing. I'm sure Rick will be over there at some point to watch him race. Marcus was over here in the summer and spent some time in this car with dad. A couple of test days.
Or even raced the last year as well, and the Endurance Championship here in New Zealand, did a race in that, and it was very, very cool to see them both racing together, having a bit of fun. As change for the lead of GT4, so that's Glenn Chappell up the inside of Alan Sargent. So Alan Sargent now under pressure as well by Grant Aiken.
Grant's having a great race. He's tacked up behind these two. Bases his racing enterprise down at Highlands Motorsport Park, business park adjacent to the circuit. Likes this Audi. 1G Murphy will be driving this car. They got the Enduro tomorrow afternoon. So that is going to be very, very spicy, because you'll have William Exton, who's won races in top-level one-make Porsche racing. You've got Tom Bewley, who's won races in top-level one-make Porsche racing. He'll be in Carrera Cup this year in Oz. And then Greg Murphy, who's won just about everything in the pro side of things in the GT4 car. So that is going to be a fascinating battle tomorrow here at Manfeild. Aitken, in the meantime, driving the wheels off this thing.
A little bit of a slide again out of turn 5. The hairpin, such an important corner to get the exit right off there, to be able to get on the power as soon as you possibly can, as Aitken shows his nose up the inside. Too far back at the moment, but he's doing that just to put himself in Alan Sargent's mirror. Back down towards the last corner again. It is so fast down here into the last corner. You're braking and turning all at once. This is where we saw Rick Armstrong go straight ahead off into the wall there. One tiny mistake with a big consequence. As they around the start-finish line again with 13 minutes remaining in this race. Grant Aitken looking reasonably racy. Not enough for Alan Sargent to have to cover his line into turn 1, but this is perfect for Glenn Chappell. This is allowing him to pull a little bit of a lead on the 2 in front and start controlling what is happening out in front of him. And speaking with a little bit more control is Green Schooler as well. He's out in front of this race, but actually, no. Nigel Cromie still putting the pressure on. But remember, Nigel Cromie wasn't here for practice yesterday as well, so a good chance for him to start getting up to speed, and you know, every lap that he does, he'll be getting faster and faster, but at the same time, Green Schooler's doing a great job holding onto the lead of this one at the moment.
Yeah, and just pulled away after the restart, got the gap out to about 1.5, though Cromie coming back to him. Such a difference in backgrounds between these two. Schooler, young man from Wellington, so this may as well be home turf for him on his way up in the Porsche racing pyramid, the New Zealand racing scene. Nigel Cromie behind has come from powerboat racing, so completely different discipline. Both high-level performance, both searching for a big race result this time around. The last time by, Cromie with a 106.6, quickest lap of the race, and he banked a fastest lap just before the safety car was called. So after a couple of laps, it looks like the 33 car switches itself on just a little bit better perhaps than the 999 of our race leader. Just on 11.5 minutes to go in this one, and definitely not settled yet between Schooler and Cromie, the race lead.
It's a bit like what was happening before the safety car as well. Cromie just seemed to be getting better and better over the distance. So once again, as this race continues, looks like Cromie as he gets the apex at the last corner. Schooler runs a little bit wide as Cromie is on the flashes. Shows his nose on the inside down into turn 1. Not close enough, but doing that just to put himself all over Regan Schooler's mirror.
Slides on the exit at turn 1, putting 490 horsepower in the 992 GT3 Cup car to the ground. So big oversteer on the exit, and it almost opened the door for Cromie, who last time round, the 106.65, another quickest lap of the race.
How defensive Schooler was through turn 5 there at the hairpin. At the same time, Nigel Cromie did the same thing. He ran narrow as well, as he thought there might be an opportunity up the inside, but not quite enough. And actually, just looking in the background of that shot there, that gap's actually opened up a bit between Rick Armstrong and Fillmore as well. So just to see if all is a-okay with Armstrong's car, as it's quite a big drop back for him. So keeping on the lap times of that one. But this battle up front continues on. 10 minutes remaining in the race. Cromie again shows his nose, puts himself all in Schooler's mirror.
There's a bit in this too, Andrew, because there's a big championship point gain available here for Nigel Cromie. Second in the championship, 60 and a bit points. There was a half points race earlier this year, so it's 60.5 officially. Championships have been won by a half a point in the past. So 60.5 behind Rick Armstrong. He's back down in 4th place. Should he win this, it will eat into Rick Armstrong's championship lead considerably. Second will still nibble away at it, but the win will take more points out. On the other side, Regan Schooler, who has been gaining form as the championship has gone on. 3rd place in the feature race at Highlands Motorsport Park last time out at the 70th NAPA New Zealand Grand Prix, but had a horrific start to the year at Hampton Downs. Qualified 2nd, 4th in the opening race, and then 2 DNFs. have put him massively on the back foot, and as a result, 7th in the championship coming into this weekend. So this is an opportunity to get that first win. A little bit of traffic to deal with for them down at turn 1. The battle continues on for the GT4 cars. Grant Aitken and Glenn Chappell. And Alan Sargent's dropped back behind. So he's lost that spot to Grant Aitken.
Grant Aitken has the move done. He is back into second place. He's made the move happen as this just continues on. Chromie on the exit of turn 5. Rearing, lighting up, sideways slightly. He is working those Michelin tyres super hard, trying to find a way past Schooler.
Where do you make the move? Where's the best place to pass here at Manfeild?
Turn 1 is a good opportunity, and then also down into turn 5, that middle hairpin as well. So they're two very, very good opportunities. So it's all about, it's what Chromie's doing at the moment is all you can do. You can just keep showing your nose, keep trying to force the car in front into a little bit of a mistake, enough to be able to fire up the inside. It's quite hard to get the run off the exit of the last corner when you're in that dirty air. You're not at the same level of aero as you'd otherwise like. As Chromie gets a little bit closer, he fires it up the inside, gets the move done. Is Schooler going to be able to get the switch back, but it's going to still give Chromie the inside line. And that's it, move done, takes the lead of the race.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got the pace to be able to drive away now from the 999. Let's see if there's a response from the young man from Wellington. Or can Chromie grab a 3rd win for the year and significantly eat into Rick Armstrong's championship lead?
Interestingly enough, it wasn't being scored there. It didn't make it too difficult for Nigel Chromie. I thought he would have maybe been a little bit more defensive down into turn 1 and covered Chromie off, but that was reasonably easy for Chromie in there. When I say easy, it's not easy at all to fire a Porsche GT3 Cup car up the inside on a dirty line, but even Nigel will be thinking, that wasn't too bad after all. Got the move done and carry on, head down. So I'm surprised Schooler didn't cover that off a bit more.
Into the final corner, 6.5 minutes and a little bit, plus a lap to go between these two. So Chromie, your new race leader, looking for his 3rd race win of the season. He won race 2 at Hampton Downs, then a big win in the feature race at Terratonga. Let's go back and have a look at this.
So this is where the battle sort of started off. So Chromie there gets into the back of Schooler very, very lightly, bit of Morse code.
So that was that mark on the bumper that you saw earlier.
And then this is where he fires it up the inside at turn 1. Schooler to cover his line off there and made it a little bit easier for Chromie. And then now look at Chromie, he's just head down. He's been super fast every time he gets in this car. He just gets better and better, and now he's in the lead of the race, 2nd in the championship. He's I know he did a little bit of testing here a few weeks ago and was blindingly fast. So everyone was very, very impressed with how fast he was in that, and you can clearly see with the way he's turned it around today, to miss practice yesterday, to arrive here today and now be in the lead of the race.
Schooler not giving up on this.
No, he's not. He's actually hanging in quite nicely.
Still an opportunity. Chromie's still got 5.5 minutes and a lap to hold on to this. A little bit further back, Rick Armstrong's car maybe starting to come in a little bit as this run goes on. Some long green flag running now after that earlier safety car. And the 106.72 last time by was comfortably the quickest driver on the racetrack. And he's got that margin to Sam Fillmore back down to 1 second. So there could be a battle on at the end here between the two IMS racing cars. It's got to the back of Chromie again, so a couple of car lengths between them. This one is not done yet. I wonder, Andrew, and I'm theorising here, but we saw on the restart Schooler jet away out in front. Was he a bit too aggressive perhaps early? Did he overheat the Michelin tyre too early and then just came back to Nigel Chromie as a result? He brought his up a little bit more gradually. But now that they're on even Stevens, it's gloves off.
Yeah, he's got the pace again there, so maybe it was just a bit too hard too early on these tyres. At the same time, we know how good this tyre is. You can just punish it, and it just stays with you within reason, obviously. It still does slowly go off, but it is known as a tyre that can take a fair bit of punishment compared to other tyres that fall off a bit quicker than what the Michelin Cup car tyre does here.
If they continue on their current trend, all the top 4 are going to bunch up here because the fastest of the 4 cars was Rick Armstrong. The second quickest was Sam Fillmore. Believe it or not, Regan Scholar was the 3rd quickest, and the slowest of the top 4 was Nigel Cromie. So they're all buttoning up at the top. And Armstrong now within a car length or 2 of Sam Fillmore. Glenn Chappell still leads the way in GT4. He's got a comfortable margin over Grant Aitken. Nothing has changed there. Alan Sargent still within a 2nd or 2 of the Audi R8. This is where the battle is at the front of the field. Cromie win again, or can Scholar get his first victory of the season?
Scholar with the headlights flashing into the last corner, trying to force Nigel Cromie into mistake, but I think it's going to take a bit more than that. A flash of the headlights to put Nigel Cromie off what he is doing out in front. But I'm surprised here, Richard. He hasn't just jetted off into the distance. The gap stayed pretty neutral from the moment that Nigel's going to hit.
6/10 the official margin. It's about, depending on where they are on the circuit, about 4.992 GT3 Cup cars. And a brand new Generation 2 version of this car makes its debut this year. In fact, I mentioned Marco Giltrap earlier, the junior champion, open champion of Summerset GT New Zealand a couple of seasons ago now. He is in Asia at the moment, at Zhuhai, testing the brand new 992.2 Cup.
Great track race there. It's a very cool track
nice.
to be in a cup car there. So good to see him over there. He's another young, talented driver who's got a very bright future in motorsport and doing some amazing things.
The new car's got 30 more horsepower. It's got a revised front end. It's got more aero. It's got ABS and TC.
Calm down there, Richard. Calm down. I can hear you. I can feel you dreaming over that one. It's such a good car that they are.
I've spoken to a couple of colleagues at Porsche Motorsport in the United States, and they've already been running those cars, and they like them a lot. Rick Armstrong likes a move a lot here. Has a look down the inside of Fillmore at 1. Not quite there, but it might be on before this race is out.
Interesting, the way that he dropped back quite a bit mid-race there, and now he's all over the back of Sam Fillmore again. So maybe he was just trying to look after that tyre, give it a breather for a while, but now he's got a lot of pressure all over the back of Sam Fillmore.
He's had a great run out of the hairpin as well. Tucked up behind. Is there an opportunity for a move up here into Higgins, into the right-hander, which has got a huge amount of banking and camber? Can he go right round the outside here? Big move to make it stick. No option there. Fillmore, the Alliance Services car, is going to get a better run out of that corner. Oh, this feels eerily familiar when these two get stuck into each other, and I love it. It's great. A patched up, rebuilt number 2 Armstrong's car. He's fighting for a spot on the podium in Summerset GT New Zealand.
2 hardcore races. They love their motorsport. They push on as much as they can. Yes, they might be out of the same team at International Motorsport, but to these guys right now, that doesn't matter. They are going to battle all the way to the checkered flag as we are on the last lap of the race now as they come up towards turn 3.
Nigel Cromie still leads the way, looking to grab win number 3 for the season and close that championship margin down. Scholar within 6/10 of a second, so one tiny little mistake and it will be all over for the 33. He must be inch perfect in the final 2 corners. Still on, Fillmore has to defend. Armstrong's going to get a really good run out of turn 6. Might get a good run into the final corner. Scholar still flashing the lights. Unperturbed will be Nigel Cromie. What a drive this has been. To make a dent in the championship lead, Nigel Cromie for the 3rd time this year wins in Summerset GT New Zealand and edges out Regan Scholar by 4/10 of a second. Scholar with back-to-back podiums in the series now, so building momentum. Best finish of the year for him. And Sam Fillmore, after feeling the heat from Rick Armstrong, comes home in 3rd position.
Wow, there was all sorts going on in that one from the open class and the GT4 class as well. That's been a battle all race long as well, with Glenn Chappell taking the win in GT4. Got that pass done. It was sort of after the safety car for Glenn Chappell where he sort of seemed to pull another gear and ended up so much quicker as he heads up towards the line, up towards the last corner at the moment.
So in race 2 tomorrow morning, it will be the second drivers who drive these cars. So GT4 victory for Glenn Chappell, great drive. Grant Aitken's going to be second and fends off Alan Sargent, who got to within 0.6 of a second at the end of that one. So Tom Bewley will drive car 635 tomorrow. Greg Murphy will drive the Audi R8, and Willie Exton will drive car 107 for Alan Sargent in third. That's going to be blockbuster between those guys, and James Sachs is going to have to drive really well to play with them.
Yeah, it is going to be very cool to watch that one unfold between those three tomorrow in race number 2.
So there you go, the final results at the Repco NextGen NZ Championship. Cromie and Schooler. Great battle at the front between those two. Brief, you only need 2 cars to have a ripping motor race. Fillmore and Armstrong next. Glenn Chappell gets the win in GT4 in front of Grant Aitken in his best drive of the season, I think, so far. Highlights in Summerset GT New Zealand, the Cup car battle at the front. And it was Schooler who got the early race lead. Rick Armstrong was racy though. And then this strange moment from James Sachs. Can you get to the bottom of how that all played out from the birthday boy who brought out the Toyota GR safety car for the one and only time in this opening 30-minute race.
Certainly looked like he was nursing it a bit at the end of the race there, but good second and a bit off the pace for James Sachs, so maybe there is some sort of issue. But as Richard Craill said, we'll get to the bottom of that one. And that was the move for the lead for Glenn Chappell to get into the front. In the GT4 class as the GT Open battle continued on. A little bit of a Morse code, bump and run. That's not what was needed in the end for Nigel Cromie. He got the move done cleanly into the lead of the race and held it from there.
Good fight between these two old sparring partners as well. And Armstrong had half a look there. Thought he might get up the inside, but Fillmore, the Alliance car, was too good. The battle for the lead continued all the way to the line, but Nigel Cromie got the win. Schooler and Fillmore on the podium. And what a drive. Glenn Chappell, outstanding at GT4 to get the win. And they're in Allied Petroleum Victory Lane, and they're talking to Greg Rust.
That's got to feel pretty special. Congratulations.
Yeah, needed that one, and got to make it count while I'm here. So, yeah, I'm stoked.
What about the car from a race point of view for the rest of the weekend? Feel pretty strong?
Yeah, it did. It actually took me about 5 laps to get into it. So, and then the car was really quick. So maybe talk about that for the next couple of races and see if we try and get it to come in a bit earlier. But otherwise, it was fast.
You're far from old. You're a young fella, but that young fella beside you's coming, isn't he?
Oh no, I thought I was young, but no, now I'm quickly realising I'm getting old real fast.
Go and get in touch with the fam. Thank you, mate, for talking with us. Nigel Cromie doing the job there. Where's Regan Schooler? Come on over. Richard Craill talked about it in commentary with the sequence of podium results like that. That's got to feel pretty good. I know you would love to have converted the pole, though.
Yeah, it's good, but like could have been better, I suppose. Yeah. We were on for a good fight. Like tried keeping it up with with Cromie at the end, but unfortunately he just did a pretty good job of just keeping us behind, just enough to where we couldn't have a lunge.
Have you got something, do you think, in store tomorrow?
You never know.
All right, well, we'll wait with bated breath. Thank you, mate. Congratulations, second there, Regan Schooler. Where's Sam Fillmore? He'll be all smiles, and it was lots of pressure, I reckon, from Rick during that one. Did you enjoy that? What was it like?
Oh, mate, it was great fun. But Ricky was horning my mirrors. I knew he was going to come through pretty quick, but there's no way I was going to let him through. But it was, yeah, real good fun, good racing.
What do you do in those moments? Is it like, forget the mirrors, eyes forward? How do you play?
Mate, I don't need to look in the mirrors when Ricky's behind me because I know he's going to have a go everywhere. So I've just got to keep blocking and make sure that he can't get through.
Awesome. We get to do it all again tomorrow. Is there a little something overnight that you might tweak with this car, maybe yourself?
We were struggling a little bit with understeer. So that was, especially through that last corner. So if we can get that right, I think we'll have a rocket ship tomorrow.
Good on your top 3. Nice way to start things here at Manfeild.
Cheers.
There he is, Sam Fillmore. Let's bring in our GT4 contestants. And I tell you what, this fella's going to be smiling from ear to ear. Glenn Chappell, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I had a good start, and once I got past Alan, I was able to sort of just bank some good laps and just keep going. It was good.
I mean, do you feel all right? Or you took it out of you a little bit?
Oh, no, not too bad. I was feeling a bit crook this morning, but I'm actually pretty good now, and yeah, I was happy with the way the race went, and Race Lab did a bloody great job in setting it up, and yeah, we brought it home. I'm happy.
Can you build on that tomorrow and keep the momentum?
Well, hopefully. Tom will be in the morning, so we'll see how he goes against the other young guns, and Greg, obviously. And for the big race tomorrow, hopefully if I can get a good start again and give Tom a bit of breathing room, then hopefully another round win.
He's a great young peddler. Good combo. We'll watch tomorrow. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Rusty.
There you go. Let's bring in Grant Aiken there, who hustled, and he's got a young bloke with him tomorrow, as he just said. Hey, firstly, debrief on that one for us. How you feeling? What'd you think?
Well, I'm a bit knackered, to be fair, but keeping these young buggers at bay, it's hard work. It's ordinary hard work.
we got what you meant there. Car's good, though.
Car's fantastic. You know, I'm looking forward to Murph's going to have a crack tomorrow share the drive in the 40 minutes, so that'll at least save me some pain. But no, a great car. I mean, it just deserves probably someone a bit younger or a bit more energetic.
We're enjoying this class. We hope you have a great Sunday here, Grant. Thank you.
Good on you. Cheers.
There you go. Let's bring in Alan Sargent now. So a couple of Supras in the top 3 in this class. What's the kind of wash-up of the first one for you?
A bit of drive error. The pressures didn't come up on the tyres as much as I'd like, so it was a bit squirrely out there. So just a bit deep in the corners, trying to make up time. And
Is the Supra good here? I mean, it looks like a great package for Manfeild.
It's great, yeah. No, it's sort of like once you get the horsepower of Grant's Audi and he gets going, it's hard to get past him. So no, the car's good. It's balanced. So.
Tomorrow's another day, and we bring a bit more into the equation tomorrow too, don't we?
Oh, let's see the young guns go, I think. Or as Grant calls them, the children.
Thank you, mate. Well done.
Thank you, mate.
There you go, Alan Sargent, wrapping up our interviews there in GT4 in Allied Petroleum Victory Lane. That wraps up a great Saturday here at Manfeild. We hope you've enjoyed it. Just check your guides there. We're on air from 9:20 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow. Got a full day of action here for the grand final of the Repco NextGen NZ Championship, including Bridgestone GR86, all the V8 muscle of TA2, Central Muscle cars, and a whole lot more. On behalf of all of our team, including Ronan Murphy, Richard Crail, Andrew Waite, and all of the hard-working crew here. We'll catch you tomorrow. Bye for now.